Alors, bonjour, bonsoir. Alors, aujourd'hui, nous allons discuter les pronoms encore une fois. Nous avons déjà étudié le pronom I, on a fait le pronom on, et aujourd'hui, on va faire les pronoms et les expressions indéfinies. Les pronoms et les expressions indéfinies. Et ça, c'est à la page 158 dans votre livre, page 158 dans votre livre. D'accord? Donc, ça sera une bonne idée d'ouvrir le livre à la page 158. Bon. Ok, alors aujourd'hui, nous allons apprendre le vocabulaire et on va distinguer entre ce que c'est un pronom et un adjectif. Bon, je vais expliquer un peu en anglais. This lesson is a little bit different from E and on and from me, to, nous, vous that we're going to do next week. Okay, this is actually, as it says in your book, about expressions of quantity that are indefinite. So with this little lesson, we're going to have to learn vocabulary. That's the first thing we need to know. You need to know all the vocabulary that's on the green box. But in addition to that, since it's level 3, it's not just a matter of learning vocabulary, that would be kind of easy, we have to really understand the difference between an adjective and a pronoun. And that's how they've set it up on page 158. They have a column for the adjective and a column for the pronoun. So let's first make sure we understand the difference between a pronoun and an adjective. A pronoun replaces a noun. A pronoun is a noun. It takes the place of a noun. Okay, I think we know that. An adjective describes a noun. We've had this in English class and French class. It's not too hard. All right, let's just be sure we understand that concept. Blue is an adjective, right? I can't say, give me a blue. I can't just use an adjective by itself. I have to say, give me a blue pen, or give me the blue book, or give me the blue car. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but you have to use an adjective with a noun, okay? So an adjective is used with a noun. Big. I can't say, oh, wow, give me a big, right? I can't just say, give me a big. I have to say, give me a big drink. Give me the big popcorn. Okay, so these are adjectives. They have to be used with a noun. So we might want to modify our definition of an adjective by saying it describes a noun, but more importantly, it must be used with a noun. That is really important in our lesson today. It has to be used with a noun. An adjective cannot be used by itself. A pronoun replaces a noun and it is used by itself. Okay, now let's take a look at what we mean by that. Okay, well, I have some other adjectives and we're going to find out what the corresponding pronoun is. You know the adjective my. This is my book. But I can also say this is mine. That's a pronoun, right? I can say this is mine book. My book or mine. Why can't I say this is mine book? Because mine is a pronoun and it stands by itself. You can't use it with a noun. Your, this is your book. Can I say this is your? No, I have to say this is yours, right? That's the pronoun form of the adjective. Her, this is her book. This book is her. Can I say that? This book is her? No, I have to say this book is hers. Does that make sense about the difference between an adjective and a pronoun? Okay, let's take a look at one more. His. This is his book. This is his. Is that correct? It is, isn't it? These have to change. Your becomes yours, her becomes hers, his doesn't change at all. Why? I don't know, actually. But the point is that sometimes in English, our adjective form is different than our pronoun form, but sometimes it's the same. And if you have an explanation for it, that's great. I don't. It's really not important that I have an explanation for it, but the point is just it's the same sometimes and sometimes it's different. And that's what we have to understand as we approach page 158. Sometimes the words on the left, the adjective form, are the same as the pronoun form, and sometimes they're different. And in English, in the fact that they're the same or different in French is not necessarily going to be true in English, that they are the same or different. I hope what I said just made sense. Okay, let's start taking a look at the vocabulary that we have on page 158. Okay, so you have this in your book, so I don't really have to rewrite it all, but I will just to make it clear, but it is in your book. Okay, so I really like the way they have divided it up. Okay, they have the adjectives on one side and the pronouns on the other, and they remind us very nicely that an adjective has to be used with a noun. That's a great little reminder. Adjective has to be used with a noun. Okay, so the first one that we come to is the word quelque. Quelque. And it tells us in our book that it means some or a few. But it's an adjective, okay? And you'll notice that it's a plural adjective. So what could I use that with? Well, I could say some paper clips. Quelques trombones. I have an S, and I have an S. Okay? I go to the store and I buy some paper clips. Je vais au marché ou je vais à la papeterie et j'achète quelques trombones. Okay? A pronoun would be quelques-uns. Now, I'm running out of room, but you can see in your book that it's a hyphenated word, un, and then you have the plural feminine form, quelques-unes. So this is the pronoun. I don't use it with a noun. So my sentence in English would be, I'm going to the store and I'm buying some. Not some paper clips, but just some. I'm going to buy some when I get to the store. It's already established that I'm going to buy paper clips. I'm going to get some when I go to the store. So if I want to use the word some in that case, I could use quelques-uns or quelques-unes. Okay? Now, what do you think the difference is between un and une? Well, it's a matter of if the word I'm referring to is feminine or masculine. D'accord? All right, so let me get another board. J'ai acheté quelques rouleaux de sopalin. Okay, I bought some rolls of paper towel. I bought some rolls of paper towel. So some describes rolls, so I need the adjective form. So I'm using quelques. Okay, but if somebody were to say, oh, you just got back from the store, did you remember to buy paper towel? Yeah, I bought some rolls. So I could say, j'en ai acheté quelques-uns. I bought some. Okay, we'll talk about the un a little bit later. We've already seen it. We need to use un because it stands for the de sopalin, or the rouleau de sopalin. Okay, so both sentences translate to some, or both words translate to some, but here it's being used as a pronoun, here it's being used as an adjective. Okay, we'll go a little faster with the others because I think we're making our point. Okay, so the next word after quelques and quelques-uns is the word un autre. And this is the adjective side. And then we have our pronoun side. I switched boards. Un autre. And we have the word une autre. So what's obviously the difference between un and une? Well, feminine, masculine. So I could say un autre a sandwich. I'm hungry. I would like another sandwich, please. Je voudrais un autre sandwich or une autre boisson. I would like another drink. Un or une. Okay, these are adjectives, so I have to use them with a noun. Now let's look at what the pronoun form would be. And in our book, we notice that it's the same. Okay, un autre or une autre. And they just put an E right here in parentheses to show it's the same. So I could say, J'en veux un autre. Would you like another sandwich? Sure, I want another. And the another, we all understand, means another sandwich. So that's how it would be used as a pronoun. All right, this is singular, right? There's no S there. And so in our book, the second example they have is of the plural form. So, d'autres. D'autres is the plural form of the word other, and it translates as other or some other. So, j'ai acheté d'autres. What might I buy other of? D'autres brosses. Kind of an odd sentence. I bought other brushes. You wanted me to buy those brushes? I brought other ones instead. J'ai acheté d'autres brosses. Okay, adjective used with the noun. And then we see on the pronoun side, it's the exact same word. Okay, did you buy the brushes that I wanted you to buy? No, I bought others. Okay, or other ones, as you see in your book, or some others. So I don't have to use the noun in that case, but I will have to use the word en. J'en ai acheté d'autres. So now this is being used as a pronoun. Okay, our next word is plusieurs. So you'll notice that plusieurs is the same, both as the adjective and as the pronoun. So an example would be, j'ai visité plusieurs villes. I went to France and I visited several cities. J'ai visité plusieurs villes. Adjective plus noun. Or I can use the pronoun form, j'en ai visité plusieurs. So now that word city is not there, it's a pronoun, but I do have to use the word en when I use a pronoun. All right, our next word is certain. And also it's the same whether it's used as an adjective or an adverb. Certain. And notice it's an adjective, so it has a feminine form and a plural form and a feminine plural form. And the pronoun is the exact same, certain. Because a pronoun is, I'll go like that, a pronoun is a noun, and nouns have gender and number, so it will also have a feminine form, a plural form, etc. Okay, so an example, and it means several or some. Notice there are a lot of different words for some. You kind of just have to feel it out. The more French you use and read and all that, you'll kind of feel out which word some you should use. Okay, so certain, I want to say certain people, how about that? Certain people or some people told me the news. Certains gens m'ont dit les nouvelles. Jean is masculine, so I'll use just an S, not an ES. Or I could use the pronoun form and say certains m'ont dit les nouvelles. Certain ones told me the news. Okay, last one is la plupart. And here there's just a slight difference between the adjective form and the pronoun form. So the adjective form is la plupart de, and you might want to highlight that or circle it or star it because that's the key difference. And the pronoun is just simply la plupart. Okay, so an example would be elle a mangé la plupart des frites. She ate most of the fries. So I have a noun. Pronoun, she ate most of them. Elle, I'll have to put that en back. Elle en a mangé la plupart. And then I'll get rid of this. Voilà. Okay, so what we have here is we have the fact that there's vocabulary first, okay? And I don't think the vocabulary is that hard. You know the word quelque, you know the word autre. Really the only new words are, remember, perhaps plusieurs or la plupart. So first get the vocabulary down. Second, understand how to use an adjective differently than a pronoun. And then the last thing is in the second box, the second green box, where it says the above expressions of quantity can be used as either subjects or objects. That means they can either be at the beginning of a sentence, basically, or towards the end of the sentence. So I could either say, she ate some of them. La plupart is being used as an object, or I can use la plupart as a subject. So, la plupart aiment le concert. Most like the concert. Now that's a pronoun there, so I must be referring to something else, like most of the students or most of the girls or most of the boys like the concert. Most like the concert. Okay, voilà. Notice it says that when the pronoun when that pronoun is being used as an object instead of a subject, that's where you're going to be using the word en. So you notice I've been sticking en in there most of the sentences, and the reason is because of the little arrow on page 158. It says note that the en is used with the indefinite pronouns, these words over here, when these expressions are the direct object of the verb. Bon. Okay, so let's try a couple of sentences. And the best practice for this is just translation, usually. Okay, how would I write, and you're talking about, let's say, allumette. Okay, and you wanted to say, I bought some at the supérette. And we're going to use a form of quelque. So you've got to decide which word you're going to use. I bought some at the store. Okay, so how would I think that through? Well, my word for some is either quelque or quelques-uns. I either have the adjective form or the pronoun form. So I have to think, is this being used as an adjective or a pronoun? Well, there's no noun after it, so it's being used as a pronoun. So I'm going to use this expression for the word some. So, j'ai acheté quelques-uns à la supérette. Okay, then I have to do one more thing. I have to realize, well, wait a minute, allumette is feminine, so I can't say quelques-uns, I have to say quelques-unes. And then, looking at that arrow in the book on page 158, it says that if the pronoun is being used as an object, I need the word en. And is this the object of the sentence or is this the subject? It's the object. So I need to add the word en. J'en ai acheté quelques-unes. I bought some of them at the store. D'accord? Ok, alors donc voilà. N'oubliez pas qu'il y a un contrôle de I et en classe demain. Ça c'est jeudi pour la classe A et vendredi pour la classe B. Au revoir.